Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Colleen Pearl, the Cool Crone, and I will be talking about the astrology of December 2023. This month has a lot of creative energy going on. Not only do we start the month with the Sun and Mars in fiery and creative Sagittarius, but Venus is in Libra where she feels beautiful and empowered. Throughout the month, we will feel a bit of déjà vu due to Mercury going retrograde and making the same aspects over and over again. If you can channel the fiery energy of Sag into creative projects, you'll be able to avoid arguments and enjoy this holiday season. There are very few bad days this month, and most center around the full and new moons, including the last full moon in November on the 27th. Our sun saves the day by illuminating the confusion of Neptune during these lunations. There is a risk of difficulties in relationships near Yule on the 21st and at the full moon on December 26th, but there is an equal chance to meet the love of your life. Mercury and Mars really give Neptune a run for the money this month, which causes more confusion, but also brings fantastic creative vibes and inspiration. So let's get into the details and talk about astrology for December 2023. Planetary ingresses. On December 1st, Mercury will enter the sign of Capricorn. On December 4th, Venus enters Scorpio. So what does this mean? Well, Mercury in Capricorn means goodbye all these adventures and thinking that we can traipse all over the world all our life, and hello to Gucci bags and looking for status and bank accounts and making sure that every bill can be paid. With Venus in Scorpio, we get ready for some sexy time as everyone starts to look a little bit sexier. Scorpio Venus is one that really enjoys the feeling of love. This is a very sensual sign. Scorpio likes things to be tactile and physical, and Venus is all too willing to comply. December 21st, Yule, is when the Sun enters Capricorn. We celebrate Yule when the Sun comes to 0 degrees of Capricorn, but this is not the beginning of winter as most calendars represent. It is the middle of winter. So I think you will agree, in the Northern Hemisphere, most people have already gotten out their cold winter weather clothes by December 21st. Yes, winter actually starts right around Samhain, which is about 6 weeks before Yule. So, Yule is midwinter, not the beginning of winter. And when the sun comes into Capricorn, we do start to think about Capricornian things. We start to think about preserving things for the rest of the winter. We think about making sure that we have enough food and fuel for the dark winter months. And we also take a look towards our bank accounts. On December 23rd, Mercury retrograde will back up into Sagittarius. So again, we're going to have a little flirtation with the idea of travel and foreign cultures, foreign languages, foreign cuisines, the internet, publishing, and outer space. That's just what Sagittarius goes to. On December 29th, we find that Venus follows into Sagittarius, meaning that our hearts follow our minds, and we begin to fall in love with foreign cultures, foreign cuisines, foreign languages, and all the other things that Sagittarius in the 9th house represents. Retrograde planets. Neptune will turn direct after having been retrograde for many months on December 6th at 24 degrees Pisces, 53 minutes. Mercury actually stations retrograde on December 13th at 8 degrees Capricorn, 29 minutes, while Jupiter finally turns direct after having been retrograde a couple of months on December 30th at 5 degrees Taurus. So this 5 degrees of Taurus for Jupiter has been the standard since last summer. If you'll notice, Jupiter really hasn't moved all that much. So if we think of Jupiter as this humongous planet, think about the Queen Mary. I mean, just a huge boat trying to turn itself around. You can see why it takes months of it hovering over the same degree in order to really begin to turn direct or retrograde. And Uranus will remain retrograde all month as it has been since the end of the summer. Planetary aspects. I'm going to take the aspects week by week. This has been my favored format for the last few months for these videos, and I hope you like this. We're actually going to back up into the last few days of November 27th, that is, which was a Monday, and that's when we had the last full moon in Gemini. So let's start with week 1, November 27th through December 3rd. And the first thing we have is that full moon in Gemini. We start with the full moon in Gemini, which will surely have ruled the long holiday weekend, leaving you with a sense of empowerment as you distance yourself from closed-minded thinkers who bring down your energy. Now free yourself from this negative influence, and you'll find that you can express yourself more fully without the usual repercussions. During the full moon, you may have felt cloudy or even a bit confused, making it hard to get back to work with your usual enthusiasm. But by Wednesday, things feel more upbeat, and you should be able to clear away the backlog of items on your plate. Don't mistake this as a good time to approach the boss with all your well-intentioned suggestions for next year's projects. Bosses will be on a rampage on Friday. The weekend brings great energy for making plans, as well as enjoying yourself with or without a partner. If you're partnered up, be sure to share your plans with your partner and include them in future planning. During the full moon, Mercury will be squaring Neptune, making certain people ripe for a spirited and even contentious debate. This aspect will be repeated at the next full moon, so you'll want to keep a list of those you need to be careful around. Avoid people who have that religious-like zeal and turn to your more open-minded friends for conversation. Now, Mercury will sextile Saturn from December 2nd to the 3rd, and Venus will square Pluto on December 3rd. Mercury will be at 1 degree Capricorn, 36 minutes, and Saturn will be at 1 degree Pisces, 13 minutes. Venus will be at 27 degrees Libra, 54, and Pluto will be at 28 degrees Capricorn, 33. Now, Mercury will inspire Saturn to speak and communicate about constructive courses of actions, as well as instructive plans for moving ahead in life, in one's career, etc. And note that the military may be making progress at this time for the benefit of all. Venus squaring Pluto will be a clash of energies between women and those in power. Look for women in Palestine to begin making noise about the kind of government they need. Also, since this aspect stimulates sexuality and sex appeal, women may be also calling out misogynistic behavior and demanding that people come into the 21st century with their words and deeds. Week 2, December 4th and 10th. On December 5th, Venus will trine Saturn for about 2 days. Venus will be at 0 degrees Scorpio, 15 minutes. Saturn will be at 1 degree Pisces, 19 minutes. This brings about civilized behavior with an emphasis on responsibility. People will be faithful, conventional, and stable. They may be afraid of rejection, which could be their motivation for this behavior, but most of us just want to get along. The older generation may take center stage to exemplify how to do this. On December 7th, Mercury will trine Jupiter for about 3 days. Mercury will be at 5 degrees Capricorn, 33 minutes, and Jupiter will be at 6 degrees Taurus, 34 minutes retrograde. The general mood will be optimistic with kind and open behavior. Many will take a philosophical view of whatever is happening, making it much easier to resolve conflicts. Many will get the urge to travel under this aspect, and doing so may promote better understanding between cultures. On December 9th, Venus will oppose Jupiter for about 2 days. Venus will be at 4 degrees Scorpio 58, and Jupiter will be at 6 degrees Taurus 25 minutes retrograde. Notice that Jupiter is barely moving at all in those 3 days. Following on the heels of Aphrodite squaring Pluto, we find that people have become more emotionally demanding. Selfishness becomes apparent, and some may not be satisfied with cheap imitations. They want the real thing, and they want it now. Let's move on to week 3, December 11th through the 17th. On the 11th, we have Mercury sextile Venus, and you can see Mercury is the little itty-bitty planet up here, and Venus is the slightly bigger planet out here. But look how close they are to the Sun. Now we will be able to come to accord. Things that feel more balanced, and people will be displaying much more charm and wisdom than last week. In general, things are going to be much more pleasant. And then on the 12th, we have the new moon in Sagittarius at 20 degrees Sag, 40 minutes, occurring at 6:32 p.m. Eastern Time. This new moon has a fated quality about it, with both luminaries trining the North Node. In addition, they are trine to Aries, which is conjunct the node and will give voice to what women really want and need. The trine energy may tone down Aries' strident voice just enough to get people to listen and give her what she wants. We'll all yearn for new adventures and to fulfill our dreams and potential. Jupiter will be trining Mercury, which will be pretty much at a standstill in preparation for its retrograde motion. Thoughts of sugar plums will be dancing in all of our heads. The larger planets are lined up like a string of pearls in nice, neat little sextiles, so virtually all of this energy is harmonious and happy. This would be a wonderful time to begin a relationship, although Venus is opposing Jupiter, so you may care more about the person's bank account than their soul. Now, fair warning, relationships without a little bit of struggle generally do not last. Your dreams may not come true the way you look at them now, but you definitely will be starting a fated alliance that can make you feel comfortable without getting bored. The Sag influence here is one of passion, a thrilling urge for adventure, and a need for new horizons. With all the big boys playing nice, you couldn't ask for a better moment to take on a partner. On December 16th, we have the Sun squaring Neptune. The Sun will be at 23 degrees Sagittarius, 44 minutes, and Neptune will be at 24 degrees Pisces, 54 minutes. The power of the Sun comes to illuminate the fogginess of Neptune. Some may resist this illumination and feel that they need to defend their fogginess or whatever is causing it. Others may find a revelation about something that has long confused them, and still others may deny their addictions or issues with people that hold them back from exploring their full potential. December 17th, we have Mercury retrograde trining Jupiter again. Again, we find that Hermes and Jove have a positive aspect that will last a few days. Mercury will be at 7 degrees Capricorn, 12 minutes retrograde, and Jupiter will be at 5 degrees Taurus, 55 minutes, also retrograde. As I said before, the general mood will be optimistic, with people behaving with kindness and openness. Many will take a philosophical view of whatever's happening, making it much easier to resolve conflicts. Some may get the urge to travel, and this would be a very good period for negotiations to take place. However, given that Mercury is retrograde and Jupiter is retrograde, travel is not recommended on these dates or until the first of the year. And with Jupiter almost at a standstill, as well as Mercury, you may just want to revel in the fact that you're getting to do a do-over just before the end of the year. Week 4, December 18th through the 24th. On the 20th, Venus will oppose Uranus. Venus will be at 18 degrees Scorpio, 6 minutes. Uranus will be at 19 degrees Taurus, 41 minutes. Relationships become complicated with this one, causing one partner to feel they're in control of everything and yet wanting freedom from the bonds of the partnership itself. This can cause the urge for change and may result in the surprising end to many relationships right before or on Yule. Conversely, if your planets are harmonious with one or the other of these celestial bodies, you may meet the love of your life, or at least the love of your decade, as Venus bumps into inspiring Uranus. We had the squares between these two planets last summer, so I wouldn't rule out that the same person comes back into your life under this aspect. Then on the 21st, which is Yule, Mercury retrograde will sextile Saturn for another time. Mercury being at 3 degrees Capricorn, 4 minutes retrograde, and Saturn being at 2 degrees of Pisces, 20 minutes. Saturn will bring a harmony to life through constructive, practical methods. You will be able to communicate in a very clear and straightforward manner. This is a great aspect for students. December 26th, we have the Sun conjunct Mercury. Now, if you recall that little picture that I had of all the planets in their orbit around the Sun, you know that Mercury is very close to the Sun. And when planets conjunct the Sun, they often get kind of fried, kind of burnt out from the Sun because it's so huge and it's so hot. Mercury in particular. So the Sun is at 29 degrees Sagittarius, 51 minutes, and Mercury will be at 1 degree Capricorn, 44 minutes retrograde. So they're out of sign, but they're so close. When Mercury is this close to the Sun, it can cause a bit of a short circuit as the Sun tends to fry the brain waves of Mercury. Take it easy during this one, perhaps taking a break from all the holiday merriment by doing a crossword puzzle or coloring in order to calm those brain waves. You might find that you're downloaded with a lot of creative ideas instead of having an argument with your brother-in-law. December 24th, the Sun sextile Saturn. The Sun will be at 1 degree of Capricorn, 53 minutes, and Saturn will be at 2 degrees of Pisces, 34 minutes. You may not be working today, but you have the ability to work hard and even to take on some extra responsibility. So if coworkers are out on holiday, you're happy to fill in. Just don't start feeling sorry for yourself as being the person with nowhere to go and no social events to attend. You'll be there next time. And on to the last week, December 25th through the 31st. On December 25th, Venus will trine Neptune, Venus being at 24 degrees Scorpio, 7 minutes, and Neptune being at 24 degrees Pisces, 59 minutes. Romance, compassion, and intuition abound with this aspect. You may be very creative now and inspired to paint a huge mural or compose a symphony. Whatever you create is sure to be tremendously appealing. You'll probably infuse your creation with elements of mysticism and magic, which will be very attractive to females. If you're in the market, great. Your creative expression will show your inner feminine side, the intimate side that is usually hidden. And on the 26th, we have the beautiful full moon in Cancer at 4 degrees 58 minutes at 7:33 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, during this full moon, Sun will trine Jupiter, the Sun being at 4 degrees Capricorn 56 and Jupiter being at 5 degrees Taurus 35 minutes retrograde. So it has not moved at all since the last time we talked about Jupiter. Remember that Jupiter is barely moving as the gas giant prepares to turn direct on the 30th. Those of you connected to this aspect, you'll feel extremely strong and confident now. Also, travel may beckon and will include adventures. I see you planning a safari for parts unknown. But if you can't actually leave town, spend some time studying a new topic or language so that you're still gaining new experiences. As far as Mercury retrograde conjunct Mars, Venus sextile Pluto, and Mars square Neptune, I'll have a video up on my channel well before the full moon giving you all the information about these aspects and many more so that you can fully enjoy that lunation. Be sure to watch that video so that you know all the planetary influence to which you may be sensitive, as well as viewing predictions for all the rising signs. Since we're coming up on the end of the year, be sure to watch for my Astrology 2024 overview video, where I will give you a preview of what the new year has in store for us, as well as videos for each sign, giving you a heads up on where the planets are heading for you. On December 28th, we will experience a grand trine between the Moon, Venus, and Neptune. The year ends on a beautiful note. This is a beautiful, harmonious energy between some very romantic, intuitive, and compassionate planets. Venus and Neptune at the end of their water signs, Scorpio and Pisces respectively, have been trining for about 5 days when they begin to vibe nicely with the moon in Cancer. You may find some terribly dramatic, creative, or romantic event taking place that you simply must be a part of prior to New Year's. This last bit of 2023 is romantic, creative, and full of kismet. You may just find your true love if you actually look for it. Enjoy the holidays however you wish, and know that I am sending you lots and lots of love and joy for the new year. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful holiday however you celebrate, and look for my 2024 astrological overview, which will be coming soon. Blessings to all, and to all a good night.